How does this new juiced up 2024 second gen L5P Duramax diesel engine tow with a load behind it? Well, today we're gonna find out. Welcome back to the channel, guys. I'm Alex. We got this 2024 Duramax with us, and we have our 14,000 pound trailer set up, hooked up to this truck. We're ready to tow my 120-mile loop. This second gen L5P got a little bit of a bump in power. We're now putting out 470 horsepower as well as 975 pound-feet of torque. And I'm pretty excited to see if this Duramax can now give the old Power Stroke a run for its money. As I mentioned last week, this updated Duramax has a new fueling system, updated pistons, and it's now giving this engine a max towing capacity of 21,600 pounds in a crew cab 4x4 configuration, up from 18,200 pounds. So a pretty significant jump in towing capacities with this updated Duramax. As per usual with our 14,000 pound trailer, we use the exact same trailer, same load location, giving us the same tongue weight, roughly 1,400 pounds. We also drive the exact same 120-mile towing loop, ideally giving us a very good comparison between truck and engine. Well, we got this V8 rumbling here, and she is thirsty for some miles, so we'll get this thing on the road. First off, however, we're gonna do our off-the-line acceleration test, see how well this truck pulls a load from a standstill. Honestly, first impressions, it feels very, very similar to the first gen L5P Duramax. I honestly can't notice too much of a difference. Another thing I'm noticing right off the bat here is the exhaust brake. I mean, it's fully on. I guess it's better, but it's just still not in the realm of that Cummins engine. Now, speaking of acceleration test, I'm excited to do with this truck because, well, this has a 10-speed Allison transmission that can fully lock up the torque converter in first gear, hopefully giving this truck a really nice launch off the line. We're gonna go 0 to 50 kilometers an hour, put her in four-wheel drive, and just see what she's got. 3, 2, 1, to the floor. "50 kilometers an hour. Take two. 3, 2, 1, to the floor. Oh yeah. She definitely has some freaking pull to her in first gear. It's time for our acceleration test, getting up to speed on the highway. We'll go 60 kilometers an hour to 110, roughly 70 mile an hour. 60 kilometers an hour, to the floor. Oh yeah. 110. There we go. Yeah, we'll see where that time ranks. You guys will know where it ranks, but unfortunately I don't. Not yet. All right, we got a little bit of a different camera setup today. Let me know what you guys think. But my prediction for our towing run today with the 6.6 Duramax, I'm really excited to see how the exhaust brake performs. Looking forward to that. Secondly, like I touched on earlier in the video, I feel like this Duramax is gonna struggle a little bit with that low end torque. So I think we might see a little bit more downshifting than something like the Cummins, although the Cummins only has a 6-speed transmission, so it's a little bit of a comparison, apples and oranges. But that's my prediction. I think the Duramax may not be able to keep up to something like the Power Stroke that has a purposely extended stroke to gain that low end torque, but only time will tell. Now that right there is a little bit of a load if I do say so myself. Woo! Look at that thing. What do we got pulling this? Oh, good old Kenworth. All right. Oh, how dare I? A freaking Peterbilt. This is our first hill on the towing loop. Not very steep, but it's pretty darn long. And while we're revving at 1,800 RPM, which is actually a lot lower than I would have predicted with this Duramax, like to see it. For example, with the 6.6 gas engine I towed a couple weeks ago, we were at like 3,500 RPM on this exact stretch of road with the same load, obviously. So this Duramax is making very quick work of this trailer. I mean, even the Cummins with that massive down low torque was only revving at like 1600 RPM. Didn't even shift gears. This thing seems to have not shifted gears either, which is pretty impressive. Again, I thought for sure we were gonna have to downshift, but this thing just keeps on trucking. A couple weeks ago, I towed with the 6.6 liter gas engine with the 10-speed Allison transmission, like I've mentioned a couple times, and I said that that engine was now in real competition with the 6.6 liter Duramax. I stand by it. You know, that engine is now pushing or able to tow up to like 18,600 pounds, which is truly in diesel engine territory. But towing with a diesel is such a game changer. It is night and day. It's just so much easier. You guys saw when we were going up that hill, this thing was like 2,000 less RPM. It's not gonna drink as much fuel. It just makes your life so much easier. So if you're okay with fronting a little bit extra money and having a more maintenance cost on the diesel, it'll make your life so much easier when towing. And speaking of fuel economy, we're averaging 21.4 liters per 100 kilometers, which is about 11 miles per gallon. And well, the powerstroke finished our course with 12.5 miles per gallon. The Cummins finished with 11.9. So currently we're a little bit behind there, but we'll have to check in at the end of our course and see those numbers. But what I want to talk about and continue our discussion about gas versus diesel, the 6.6 liter gasser engine was sitting at like 7 miles per gallon, or roughly like 32, 33 liters per 100 kilometers. So this engine currently is using about a third less fuel. So when it comes to towing, diesel engines are just so much more efficient. Doesn't mean in the life of the engine it's gonna be cheaper, but certainly when towing a load, a diesel engine is going to make things a little bit less expensive. The time has come. We're gonna see how well this updated engine brake does with 14,000 pounds behind it down our hill. All right, so cruise control set at 110. And all right, first downshift, 2,500 RPM, holding us pretty steady actually, 113 kilometers an hour. Not too bad. Again, I am a little bit surprised, happily surprised with the Duramax. It's gonna hold us at 113. That is really good. That is actually, that's better than the powerstroke. The Cummins was better, but well, Cummins just has a dynamite engine brake. Sorry, exhaust brake. Yeah, that is a massive improvement. Wow. Last time I had the Duramax on this course, the exhaust brake was pretty much not there. I actually had to hit the brakes myself to slow the thing down, the truck down. Yeah. They have done some tweaking to that exhaust brake and it is certainly working much, much better. Uh-oh, this thing's got the hazards on. Can't pull the load. This thing needs a Duramax in it. That's what it's missing. Put the Duramax engine in her. She'd pull those logs up the hill, no problem. What do we got here? Oh yeah, Western Star, let's go. Probably got a Detroit Diesel 16 in there, I'd guess. DD15 maybe. This exhaust brake is no joke. Holy. Right back down to 110. Happily surprised how well this exhaust brake is working on this Duramax. Really like that, because bar none, that was one of the weaknesses of the first gen L5P in my opinion, was that weak exhaust brake. We made her halfway with the old Duramax. I hate to say it, but I'm kind of liking this truck. I'm kind of liking it. It's pulling this load very well. The engine braking is awesome. The low end power is there where I didn't think it would be. This second gen L5P making me look bad with my predictions, but I like to see it. On the back stretch of our towing loop, we got a lot more hills, and perfect to see how this diesel engine's gonna take them. Oh yeah, let's get her working. Let's get her working. 2,000 RPM. Oh, no sweat. Nothing. Oh boy, this Duramax. Not even sweating a little. Well, in the distance, you can see the beast, our #1 hill. Our exhaust brake just working wonderfully. Oh yeah. Oh! Right back to 110. That is actually really, really good. Wow. Beautiful view. Back to the road. All right, here we go. Let's see what's going on here. All right, 109 kilometers an hour. Downshift, 110. Oh, what are we even doing here? This Duramax is walking all over my towing loop. We're like 2100 RPM. Oh my, well, first of all, that's better than the Power Stroke. It puts the 6.7 Cummins to absolute shame, unfortunately, guys. I love the Cummins, but it is what it is. This thing's barely turning over, pulling this hill. That is impressive. That literally may have been the best run up that hill of any engine I've tested. Granted, I have not tested the high output Power Stroke, but GM Duramax, bring in the heat. Holy. Like, look at our transmission temp, 59 degrees Celsius. It's not even hot after we just pulled that big hill too. Holy. Wow, this thing just pulls up so well. I was so completely wrong about my prediction about this thing not having enough flow and torque and it would need to downshift. What was I thinking? We got our final hill here. Let's see what this Duramax has got. Just wonderful. It doesn't even lose speed. Okay, we dropped a kilometer there. Downshift right away. Love to see it. The 6.7 Cummins logged all the way up here. The Power Stroke was fine, but this Duramax is just crushing this towing loop. We are averaging 20.5 liters per 100 kilometers, which is roughly like 10.8 miles per gallon. That is a fair bit worse fuel economy than, first of all, the Power Stroke that got 12.5 miles per gallon, as well as the Cummins that finished with 11.9. And interestingly enough, when I was doing research for this truck, I found quite a few people commenting on poor fuel economy out of this engine. I will be doing a full-blown fuel economy test with this truck in a later video, so look forward to that. But yeah, not the best fuel economy out of the competition. Oh yeah. Just rips. Jesus, this thing pulls. Well, we unloaded the trailer, and as you guys can probably tell, this second gen L5P Duramax engine is growing on me a little bit. I was vastly incorrect about my low end torque theory there. This thing, plenty of bottom end torque. Good on GM, really like what they're doing with this engine, and I was incredibly happily surprised with the updated exhaust brake performance. The old Duramax, or the first gen L5P, in my opinion, the exhaust brake was just, it was almost non-existent. This thing, you notice it and it works very well. And well, in terms of performance as a whole, this truck, this engine, it is probably one of the best, if not the best engine I've had on my towing loop at least, which is pretty darn impressive. I was not expecting that out of this truck and engine combination. However, that being said, next week or later down the line here, we'll be talking about some engine issues, because let me tell you, this engine is not perfect, so don't think otherwise. Let me know what you guys think. Do you agree with my assessment of this truck on my towing course, or do you think I'm maybe a little bit full of shit? Let me know what you think. As always, guys, if you like the video, don't forget to leave that thumbs up. And, well, if you like cool stuff like this, we got a couple more Duramax videos on the way, so don't miss them. Enough of me. We'll see you in the next freaking video. Jesus Christ.